Hi everyone, trust you all are doing well and welcome back. And if you're new, welcome to the channel. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to set up our category model. As you guys remember from the previous lesson, what we've done is we set it up our models with our migrations, but we haven't set up any methods or the relationship in them. Right, so this one we're going to set up the relationships in our category model and obviously the protected fillables and the fields like that. Right, so let's get started. So the first thing we can do is we're going to do the protected fillable. And what we want to do is we want to let there be two things. We want a name and a slug in our categories. We're not going to have any subcategories in our category. So only going to have the main category. Okay, so that's why we're not going to add a parent ID to it. Right, so the next thing is we're going to have a public function. Now, and this one is basically the relationship between the category and the threads. A thread belongs to a category, and a category has many threads. Right, so let's set that up. So this is going to be threads like this, and this is going to be a has many. Right, and then basically we're just going to return that relationship. This has many. And then we're obviously just going to add the thread in there, class. We don't need to add the category ID because we're going to follow the convention, right? So inside our thread right here, this is going to be like this. We're just going to return so public function. This is basically going to be a category. Let's just add this belongs to. So basically the thread is a child of the category. So return this belongs to. So now what Laravel or Eloquent will expect to happen is in your model of your thread model, it's actually going to expect a category ID. Okay, so if you name it something else, please add it in here. So if you name it cat ID, just do it like this, but Laravel is going to suffix basically our category because it's the parent like this with an ID underscore ID. Right, since we don't need to add that because we're going to follow the convention. Right, so that's the kind of relationship. I've decided to go with a belongs to and a has many for the category, but for the tags and the replies, we're going to do polymorphic relationships. All right, so let's just close off this one. So we're obviously going to deal with a thread model when all its other JC stuff in on the following episodes. All right, for this one, we're just going to focus on the category. All right, so the next one that we need to add is, since we added that relationship, that's all good. Now, the next part is we need to actually do our migrations. So under our database, migrations right here, we need to go to our categories right here, and we need to add that tables. All right, you guys remember that we added the name, so it's going to be a string. And this is going to be for the name and table. This is also going to be a string, and this is going to be for the slug. Right, so that's the two fields right here. Now what we need to do is, you see where the categories are right here and the threads are on top. Now for the threads, it's going to require the category ID in here, and you can see when we do the migrations, we will have an error. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rename this. Now, the thing is, because what the error that you will find is you will have foreign key incorrectly formed. So let me just do 000, so 5 zeros and a 1. Okay, let's edit on top, and we rename this one to just be 2. Okay, so because the threads require the category ID to be in here. So when you do the migrations, it will actually say foreign ID constraint incorrectly formed because it's looking for the category ID and it cannot find it in the threads. Right? It's just a simple example. So let's just change it to be like that. All right. So we got our category, we need our slug and our name in there. Another thing that I want to add is I want the name to be unique, because otherwise you will have two categories with the same name, and I don't want that to happen. I just wanted the name to be unique, so I add that constraint right there. All right, so let's see. So we got our category model set up with its migrations and obviously the relationship between the threads and the category. So we set it up, that relationship as well. All right. And then the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to set up the tag relationship in the next lesson. All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you didn't like it, please give it a dislike. And yes, so this will be kind of short videos and consumable videos for people to kind of watch it in easy bite sizes. All right, so the next one will be the tag. And yes, all right, thank you guys and see you in the next one. Goodbye.